Is it? Hello. Alright, so as I have said a few days ago, I'm gonna be focusing on post studies and the like, just anything that we can study. So it's not just limited to post studies, but it's one of them. Right, I do have a bad news to share, and that is the fact that my buddy here is missing. You usually see her and her existential crisis self, but she's not here. I mean, I would have been fine if she joins me despite her being sick, but I guess she is not in, the best condition to join. So before we start, I'm gonna have to look up more poses, because I believe the last time we only did like pose 11 to 13. Yeah, so I believe we only did 3 poses. I guess I'm gonna have to do 2 more before we focusing on other studies. If I look at my other studies, like even my older ones, I believe I've always tried to mix all the types of poses I draw, as in like I would do static and dynamic poses. I believe that's what they're called. So like dynamic as in like they're moving, and then static as in they're like just sitting or standing. It's in the name, it's static, you're not moving. So I believe I'm gonna try to do more of that, like looking for one dynamic pose and one static, and then we're gonna be drawing, I guess, hands, faces, and the like. But for now, you're gonna have to look at this AFK animation loop while you just hear me occasionally yap about something. I mean, if you guys don't mind me just complaining about something, I would like to complain about hair, specifically men's hair, because I just did some googling last night while I was trying to confirm like suspicion about something, I realized that, right, so when did our people, as in the Chinese people, when did we start to abandon the idea of having long hair for men? Because if you look at all the dynasties, the different dynasties, a lot of them have long hair. I mean, there are still varieties to it, but I don't know, I feel like men back in the day with long hair would still look better than, you know, short hair. But that's just me. I do want to Google as well, when did they abandon the idea of men having long hair? I don't know if you can hear the typing, but just enjoy it. Oh yeah. So, well, I don't know how accurate the Google AI is, because it tends to hallucinate. But we're gonna go straight to the Wikipedia for now. So we're gonna end up diving deep into Chinese history. I just want to avoid talking out of my ass, so I'm just gonna Google it. So if the summary is not incorrect, if I'm not, summarizing it incorrectly, I believe they abandoned it somewhere during the early 20th century, so 1911. Yeah, so the point was just to reject the previous ways of living. Like, they want to reject the imperial past. It's a revolution, basically. It's kind of like a statement. But that's just unfortunate, because I don't know if anybody here watches a lot of Chinese drama, but every time I look at the male actors and I see them with the period specific hairstyle, they look very good. But I guess there's too much historical significance to be keeping that kind of hairstyle in real life. And I don't mean the one where, which dynasty was it? The one Manchu, was it? The one where you have to like shave the front half of your hair. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about all over your head. They are in the entirety of your head. Having that kind of long hair, to me, is better looking, but to each their own, I suppose. Right, so back to our post studies. Unfortunately, the poses for this website is taking a while to load. So I guess maybe it's time for me to use other websites. Then I'm gonna Let me just do this for a bit. Where's my CSV window? I'm gonna hide it. Okay, you're gonna enjoy the darkness for a bit. Nope. I was lied to. I thought I can open it in Clip Studio Paint because there's literally a open button with the Clip Studio Paint icon next to it, but apparently it's only available from version 3.0. Right, so we're gonna go to another website which my friend happened to linked it to me. So I suppose we can go there instead. Okay, so I'm gonna copy and paste it. Yeah, the Post Maniacs one are still on a infinite loop. It's just infinitely loading, I suppose. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've drew from this one before, but it's okay. I'm gonna do one action from just any. I'll just pick any. No timers. We're not speed running this. Okay. Jeez. Sorry, I'm focusing on looking at the references, and I think it might be difficult for me to draw with clothes on. I mean, I wouldn't get it accurate more than I want to specifically, but running bots. I guess we can do that. Okay, we're gonna start this one. Okay. So I'm gonna be quiet for a moment and focus on drawing. just gonna quickly mention that the reference that I'm using is quite intense, or at least the model for it is quite intense, because the pose, if it's already obvious, is supposed to be sprinting, and the man is taking the sprinting very seriously. So I'm hoping I can also convey that intensity into this study, which I believe might be difficult because I'm just the kind of artist who likes to, you know, hyper focus on the details. Oh, plus the canvas is also not that suitable for this. I'm supposed to be zoomed out. I need to stop zooming in to fix the drawing that has not even, that's not even halfway drawn yet. Right, so from what I remember, from what I learned, is that you need to do kind of like these lines, whether it's one stroke or multiple, but you just need to draw out the direction, the general direction, and then you can draw the parts. I think with hands it's safer to use this kind of this like rectangular. Is it rectangular? It's not really, but you get it. You get the point. Like any shape that resembles you know, a hand to you, or a palm, the palm at least. And then you're gonna want to just, again, not hyper focus on the individual parts. So I'm just gonna do this since they are close to each other. Only the pinky and the thumb is separated. And then for the left arm, same principle. I need to avoid the zooming in too much. And then another rough shape of the palm, and then rough shape of the finger and the thumb. The left arm is too big, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah, so the problem with my drawing is that I believe this part, the hands should be fine if it weren't for the fact that my arms are a bit too short and too slender. So it's supposed to be this big, at least for the muscles, for the shoulder. Yeah, shoulders to the forearm muscles should be bigger. Just gonna like this. This is from the shoulder to the forearm, and the forearm to the elbow. Then this. Oh no, sorry, I called the upper arm the forearm. Oops. I mean like the upper arm to the elbow, and then the elbow to the forearm. Yeah, I'm too focused on the specific muscle shapes. Should be the... Yep, still not long enough. It is weird for this kind of things to be done by someone who's supposed to have a big history with art. I mean long history, not really big. If it's big, then I would have drawn this most no problem. But what I'm saying is that it is weird for people to want me to teach them how to draw when I could, most of the time I would have difficulty interpreting shapes or translating real life objects into the rough shapes. Like when people say that, oh, you should, when you want to draw a hand, right, you want to start with a circle, and then for the eyes, you wanna do kind of like a diamond shape, blah blah blah. Yeah, all that sort of instructions by comparing body parts to basic shapes. My point is that I'm having difficulties, so people asking me to teach them when I'm struggling myself is, I guess I think that some people think too highly of my art skills. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, I'm hyper focusing on the face. Now the neck is too small. See, this is the problem. And I'm supposed to hyper focus. Yeah, his head is tilted at like what, 60? No, it's still 45 degrees, I believe. But mine is more of a 30 degree. So I need to rotate the features a little bit, then make sure that perspective is also not too far off from the original. Yeah, the guy is very menacing. I wonder if this is what the Americans have on their mind when they're chased down by the IRS. Oh yeah. Oh my god, something just randomly comes to my mind. Fuck, I forgot about it. It's not art related, but it's about Markiplier's Iron Lung movie. I forgot to check if it's in the theaters here. God damn it. I mean, I guess I don't go to theaters anymore anyway, so I need to see if they air anywhere online. And I've been waiting to watch it and then I forgot about it. God. Yeah. Oops. Make mistakes on the eyes. Because you cannot. Yeah, you get the point. I don't have to keep explaining. The mouth may be difficult because it's a bit hard to see clearly, but I know his mouth is open and it's like there's kind of like a grimace to his face, so that's why there's like a line here on the cheek. This may be a big challenge for me. I should more focus on the pose itself. With the legs, his leg is a bit more down. I mean, it's a bit too up. Too up, right? Right, so if it's not obvious, for some reason when I'm streaming, I keep forgetting words. Every word just keep escaping my mind. Or I also noticed that once I've started using a certain phrase, I keep using it. Like if I said specifically once, I'll keep saying it, or literally, and then I'll keep saying it literally. And whichever words I keep repeating throughout the stream previously. I wonder why that is, but I do notice it. But I can't help it for some reason. Okay. They're wearing running shoes, so I'm gonna just do a rough shape within the actual shoes. I think for now I'm just gonna avoid drawing the legs. Is it okay if I just cut this off? Because I do want to draw the whole body, but the what is called, the pose will look really awkward since it's already zoomed out a lot. Placement of his face is also really awkward because the eyes is supposed to be at that part, but now the nose and the mouth is really low. It's really awkward looking, so let's not zoom in too much. Okay, and then this is supposed to be where his nose bridge is. The arch? Wait. Okay, I'm just gonna Google it later. the grimace, or like the very intense expression, is really hard to translate. I think he doesn't really have a frown, or it's very hard to see from the side. It's very difficult to see. It's really weird. I'm not used to this kind of like expression, so I guess I'm just gonna make sure the angle is still correct, but I'm just gonna do a different expression altogether. For all this post-studies drawing, I'm still gonna convert it to like full illustration, so I may go back to all these references and try to follow the actual expression again, or I may not. And I hit the navigator, so I cannot see the overall drawing. No wonder there's something missing. I felt that so why is it difficult to look at my my overall drawing again today, and I just realized it a bit too late. So I'm gonna put my navigator next to the actual reference. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna put this in the background. My leg. Just gotta make sure nothing is wrong. Okay, pull up the references again and then continue. Yeah, so I noticed that the body's too small and too close to the upper body, so I'm gonna have to fix this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give up on the idea that I can fit all of the body parts into the canvas. So instead I'm gonna focus on fixing the body. So the profile is supposed to be this. With this line here and this line there. And so my issue is being too close, like it's scrunch up. Everything is scrunched up to the torso like a used sponge. So what I notice is that again my perspective is still wrong. Like the head is supposed to be this. The direction, the nose and the eyes supposed to be like this, and then the eyes and the side profile is supposed to be like this. I think at least the side profile is nearly right. With the eyes, the eye level is inaccurate. To drawing poses, the biggest problem right now is not the pose, but it's actually the face. I need to do more expression study too, I notice. At this point I'm just gonna keep using the excuse that I'm not an efficient artist. I mean, it's not really an excuse, but it should explain why I look and act so clueless. I was actually still correct. Still gonna avoid putting too much effort on this, just because if I were to come back and make an illustration out of this, this will immediately be covered by clothes. So to avoid, you know, wasting all my effort here for my future self, I'm just gonna do like the very rough approximation of where the body parts are. So these are the ribs. Okay, and then this one. So these are the upper bodies. back. This is where the legs are supposed to link, but I'm trying to diagnose my problems. Yeah, I think it's the buttocks. The buttocks and this leg here. If this is supposed to be where the leg starts, then the buttocks should be here. So it will make sense to link the other butt cheek here, and then pull the leg here. Yeah, I think I got that one right already. Oops. Should be careful with where we raise. Then going back to the actual view, I think that's supposed to be like the puffing of his shorts. I'm not gonna speculate what body part they're supposed to be because we are post-study, not, you know. I'm gonna end my sentence there. So the other knee kinda shows up here. So this is basically the huge thigh. Some of the thigh muscle should be here. Then this is where the knee is. Now my question is whether or not my arm now is too low. Like again, everything is scrunched up into the torso, so it looks very, very out of place. Right, so this is the back and the chest area. And then the next issue is the head is a bit too the angle is a bit too high. It's supposed to be this and a bit larger. And so the issue with me, right? I can't say for any other artist, but specifically me, is that I can diagnose my own problem, my own inaccuracy with the references. But there's just like a part of me that just can't help keep making these mistakes. Like I know the problem is, but I rarely think of like the steps to avoid this kind of problems. And now the left arm is a bit difficult to fit. We will see. Maybe like half of the forearm will be out the frame, but who knows. So this person had his arm basically past his chest, I would say. So this is the upper arm. Like the muscles are just bulging. That's all I'm gonna say. Then the direction of the arm is supposed to be this, but the elbow ends around here. And then there's like this whole curve with like the muscles. thought of discussing something quite serious, but I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on people. I'm not sure if I should say. I think that natural muscles are quite a challenge to draw, but I feel like having fake muscles, aka steroid-induced muscle, kind of like muddying what's like real and what's not. Same with like plastic surgeries, but yeah. So this is the part where I said that it sounds like I just want to shit talk everyone. I guess I don't know. It's not just a matter of like plastic surgeries look fake, but when you look at these kind of like references, you see like actual natural body, and you learned it and you observe it quite a lot. When you look at people who have had enhancement done to their body, you notice it very, very quickly. Like, oh yeah, the muscle here doesn't look natural, like that part of the face, they look like they're static, like you cannot move them. Like if you poke at them, like they feel rock solid, that kind of stuff. I'm not here to be like the moral police, like, oh, you shouldn't do anything to your body, but for artists like me, it's quite obvious. And making art using that kind of like no longer natural body part is a bit frustrating. I'm gonna just reduce the muscles. I know the guy is very, very, I guess, built. Now he is at least lean, I would say. Sorry, I should be careful with throwing this sort of terms around. Yeah, so now I feel that from this post, his muscles, the actual reference image, it looks like his muscle is almost as big as his face. So it kind of translated to my drawing as well. That it looks like the muscles are as you know, as big as his head. I think it's just the angle. The angle is not helping anyone. Even his forearm looks big. Right, so I think this is basically it, without like doing too much fixes. It's not a good practice anyway. Like, this is not a good thing to do. Like what I'm doing right now, like lassoing and then like rotating. Now the problem is that I still have this very bad habit of like you know, zooming in and hyper focusing on the part. So even if I don't do this lassoing, I will not be able to get any parts right. I need to fix that part first before I stop lassoing. Okay, so now this is the cleanup. I think it should be straightforward. This is it. Nose, mouth. You know, I'm also contemplating, right, whether I should just work on larger art pieces on stream, or should I keep them like off stream, just because, well, two reasons. Because I don't like wasting people's time. Like if like a few people kind enough to stop by my stream and then they see me just struggling with a full illustration for hours and hours on end, I would not feel good about it. But also the second reason is that I like the idea of making all my stream footage into like a full time-lapse video, and it's a pain in the ass. At least the older recordings are massive pain in my ass, just due to the fact that I keep forgetting to press the AFK. I didn't really have a shortcut back then. I have to manually go over to OBS just to turn it on, because the shortcut function didn't work. But yeah, I tend to like stop drawing and then alt tab out of the drawing software, and that gives myself a lot of difficulty when I was editing. Like, who the hell enjoys seeing like long pauses within the time lapse? I don't. I actually don't. It's not a matter of like me wanting people to be like, oh, it's okay. No, I don't like it myself. I hate it. Yeah, seriously, I don't know if I should do that. If I wanna actually do my other OC's illustration, I need to focus, or at least make things better for my future self to handle. I think that one thing people tend to underestimate, including myself sometimes, I still do it sometimes, but people tend to underestimate the idea of organization. Like, it's not about just being neat, being tidy, but when you're working all by yourself, essentially being one-man army, you want to make things much easier for yourself. When it comes to sorting the files, naming, like even leaving markers, right, on editing software. If you're a video editor, if you can add notes, you add notes. Or if you're a programmer, adding some comments or notes for your codes, it goes a long way, because what you're doing now, you may not remember it tomorrow. So yeah, don't underestimate the idea of organizing. Save you lots and lots of time for your future self. I think that I saw some, like, I guess argument. Can you say argument? It's basically just some internet drama where people shit on some game developer that has like very, very messy code, and the other programmers' major criticism is more of the fact that, oh, you should have the habit of organizing, like everything that I just said. Like, they said that, oh, you should be putting everything that you need, especially like maybe like lines of codes that may be prone to breaking, or just as like a good practice, like oh, this is where I need to come back and maybe fix it, blah blah blah, like all of that kind of information. But the criticism is just met with like, oh, why should I need all of this? I work by myself, right? I'm a one-man team. Why should I give a fuck about all of this like nonsense? But I mean, they have a point. At least with like art, with like layering, or with editing, maybe simple editing, maybe you can argue you don't need to organize. But more complex editing, where there are a lot of tracks, video tracks, audio tracks, please, for the love of God, organize. Save yourself the pain. So I'm gonna quickly just finish the outline. Yeah, I even noticed through the navigator that my arm shape is still a bit too wide, I would say. I need to learn to be able to make subtle lines, like even for this forearm, right? The curves is a lot more subtle, so it's more like this. But when it comes to post study, I tend to like make this like very visible curve. It's not even curves. It would look like lumps. I think the angle is still a bit rough looking, but it's okay. Oh yeah, the part here is also very difficult. The back. I don't know why I keep using D, even though it's supposed to be for vowels, for words that start with a vowel sound. I think it looks a bit better with the cleanup, but we cannot put too much hope into this because my sketch is already inaccurate, so it may be difficult for me to correct it if I keep following the sketches. And subconsciously following the sketch. Okay. think I should make a habit of like just saying okay every time I finish a part, and I believe I have done so correctly. Yeah, now I notice that this part is too long, and the leg is supposed to be this big. Maybe the oh no, wait, no, the fit is correct. Oops. Oops. The size is a bit too big. size of the forearm here. Oops. I think the body is a bit too long. Yeah, the upper body is way too long. Now I have issues with the head and the left arm. Yeah. I just checked the reference model and there's something wrong. I think the more I'm fixing it, the more it's gonna look. It's gonna, the further it's gonna stray from the actual model. Like it will never look accurate. Accept the imperfection of this. I mean, that's literally the point of study. Study is not supposed to be for us nailing it in the first try, but more so learning a bunch of different stuff, but mainly the angles of like the different body parts and learning about the what is it again, the anchor point, and like learning how to implemented so you can see the weight and feel the weight of a pose just from the drawing alone. And when it comes to theory, man, I'm nailing it, but when it comes to practice, I'm failing every part of it. Alright, so now I'm gonna look for another pose, which I hope is actually usable. Or is it still in infinite loading time? Yep. I'm just gonna wait again for a bit. And now I'm confused whether or not I can actually link this reference. I don't think so. So one pose is fully loaded. What about the other one? I'm also gonna check on my list of references. What is this supposed to be? Okay, so both of my poses are finally loaded, and the pose I'm talking about is from Post Maniac. Now the other problem that I have is just, well, it's not really an issue, it's just that I cannot share with you the exact image I was drawing for this pose. I guess we have to move on to another pose. I'm looking at this one pose and I'm confused. I'm confused at the text because it's there's like an idle tag, leaning, cool, and then the description of the pose just says that Saint Giorgio standing pose. Mystery solved, I guess. I was wondering why the texts are like leaning and idle, but then I see that it's just a standing pose. It's not actually leaning anywhere. Yeah, mystery solved, I suppose. I actually have to look up where the reference is from. Is there any? Alright, so I saw the actual statue that this pose is based on, and it's based on Saint Giorgio's statue. Or is it just actually called Saint George? Donatello, yeah, Saint George by Donatello. I guess we're gonna put that in the storage for now, and we're gonna move on to another pose. Now I'll probably draw the pose, the Saint George one, but for now we're gonna do a kind of like a magic, that kind of like a fantasy fight scene pose, fighting pose, whichever it is you guys want to refer to it. So make sure my navigator is not blocking the pose. Alright. Ooh, now I have to find the right angle. Ooh, the body is very twisted. So it seems like every angle is gonna look a bit awkward. Let's see the default one. I wonder if I can just draw the head looking a bit more to the right. Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with this one pose. I'm gonna decide the lighting if I could. Okay, if this is supposed to be kind of like a fighting scene, what kind of magic would the character be using? Or should we care at all about the lighting for now? I guess we can just focus on the pose. I mean, it is pose study after all. Right, let's get to business. Oops, I forgot to turn off the AFK, and I forgot to change the music for this stream. I usually like to rotate a few albums from Purrple Cat, but I guess we're gonna stick with the same music for this stream. I'm gonna have to change the description so I don't forget. Yeah, so just to reiterate, I forgot to turn off the AFK icon again, so yeah, another worry of mine when it comes to making decisions on what to draw on stream. But it is okay, because if life is too easy, we would be bored. It would be it almost sounded depressing, so I guess I'm just gonna end my sentence there. Okay, now back to our art for real this time. Right, so I wanted to fix the angle a little bit. Yeah, so the hip and the buttocks, I think I'm having a bit of difficulty to fix. Really be careful with like drawing, butts, so it doesn't look like I'm, trying to draw sexual stuff on purpose. So I'm not. Okay, the right foot is also twisted. Too high up. The angle should be a bit lower. toes. Those are the toes summarized. This short version. Then I'm gonna do the same with this foot as well, because I have a hunch that I'm just gonna cover it up with shoes anyway, the boots, either boots or heels. Then these are gonna be, yeah, the hands are gonna be simplified as well, maybe covered in gloves, either gloves or longer sleeves. I'm gonna simplify with this first, so I'm not too preoccupied with the shapes of the finger. When I try to do the cleanup, but we will see. Fix it in cleanup for the I guess quote-unquote correct finger shape. Same with here. I'm gonna just quickly sketch this shape, and then my main concern would still be the proportion and whether or not I got the distance right. I have a feeling that the right arm is still a bit too short. So yeah, it's a bit too short because there should still be the shoulder here before the upper arm. So I think I can fix this. This left forearm. Oh no, wait. sorry, both the upper forearm, so the entirety of her left arm. I'm gonna have to then rotate this. Oops. No, yeah, I shouldn't be focusing too much or I'm gonna ruin the proportion again. I'm just gonna keep saying okay. For the legs, should be this. Oops, I don't know what fell over. But I'm not gonna look into it. Now for the head, I'm gonna deviate from the reference. Yeah, I think the overall proportion is already I take that back. And the body twisting make her look very thin. But I believe I should add more volume to this. Okay. Oh, I accidentally moved it. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna keep fixing it, but I'm gonna realign it. Yep. I'm just gonna start getting the gonna have to have a stone expression. Or can I just make a mischievous expression? And that could work as well. Oops. Keep doing that. I keep hitting O instead of T. Is feeling numb again. My kitty flame is sleeping on the floor, looking very peaceful. I think I want to make the eyes a bit up there, and then the nose. that's not the angle that I want. Okay. I'm gonna have to fix the nose a little. Still a bit too low. Yeah, there's also a problem with me when I try to draw lower angle. I do have references, but then again, I also very rarely draw this angle. I usually change it last minute. Or I cannot get it right, so let me just change it to another angle. Change it to the flat eye level angle, which is not something you want to do. At least not if you want to improve, that is, if you keep avoiding this. Overview, and it looks much better. Like I guess to me the angle looks a bit more believable. Okay. But is the face a bit too wide? Is a bit too wide, and then I have to move it a bit. The lips are a bit too wide. I think it's too big in general. Yeah, it's a really uncanny white smile if you're doing it has like even this part of the face is already a really big smile. So I think I had to be careful because I'm trying to again make a mischievous face. I guess it's fine if I make it a white smile. Like it's like a smirk. Do I need to bring it in? Yeah, I think that is better, I believe. And now we're gonna move on to the cleanup stage. Clean up. Oh, it's 10:35 p.m. It's okay. We still have like 20 minutes. I think I wanna do just like a bunch of sketches with different body parts, mainly face. I guess different facial features. I mean, it's Friday anyway. Okay, so now we're gonna quickly start outlining the face and the head. Sorry, I'm gonna be focusing on this, so I will stay silent for a while because my brain is unable to multitask. At least not at this hour. No, I lied. I could never multitask like that in the first place. Doesn't matter what hour it is. I remember vividly when it comes to spending time with my friend, or even just this one friend of mine, Forrest. I tend to just stand still or just walking in circles when we chatted, because I cannot focus on doing stuff in the game while talk at the same time. I mean, it's the same principle for me when I draw. Or unless people don't mind me speaking kind of like mindlessly, I guess. Very unfiltered. So again, I want to avoid. Yeah, I don't want the body to be too thin because the model is mostly just muscles. There's like the models are skinless, so I should put more consideration. still a bit different from the model. I believe it's supposed to be a bit to the side, but it's fine. I'm gonna draw the character maybe with high heels, so this kind of angle should be enough. I'm gonna avoid putting too much detail here on the toes because they're gonna get covered. And then the other leg, her left leg, I believe. Yeah. One word I want to share from like the professional artists that I watch from time to time, and I do follow them on Instagram, but I do want to share what they say when it comes to like studying this kind of poses, is that you don't do what I do. And by what I do, I mean me specifically, not the pro artists. So they pointed out that you should not be doing like all these curves, like extra curves, or like the details and whatnot, because you would be hyper focusing again on the details instead of the overall pose or the anatomy or even the proportions. So yeah, don't do what I do if you are trying to learn how to draw anatomy. I think because I've avoided learning anatomy for so long. Like, oops. Generally, most of what I learned were mostly faces, different faces. Hold on, I think my stuff just fucked up. Yeah, if you see like the Clip Studio Paint turned small, something fucked up. Just wait a minute. What was I saying again? So it's very unfortunate for my tablet's connection to fucked up at this moment. Very unfortunate. Oops. Yeah, keep them close. And I'm gonna check what is happening. Oh yeah, so I believe one of the programs for my tablet turned on, the Smart Connect. It accidentally turned on, so my tablet responded by disconnecting from the other program and was trying to connect with using Smart Connect instead. It's fixed now. But I thought that I did not turn that other program on, so that's annoying. I'm pretty sure I rarely turn on any auto start or auto connect. I usually turn those off just for the fact that I don't want shit like this to happen. Right, so I I suppose I have to leave the noses for now. Accurate or not, this is just gonna have to be accepted as is. And then I'm gonna make sure that the proportion is not too far off from the reference. Jaw here is a bit too stiff, too square. The ear here is a bit too big and it has the wrong angle. You know, I'm quite envious of people who are good at drawing male bodies, because if you have not realized, I have less problem with female body than I do with male body. I mean, my issue is my issue with hands transcend the gender, so that's a whole ass different issues. But with the body, like the torso, even the neck and the shoulders, I cannot comprehend male body in that aspect. Yeah. Yeah, I think the angle for the face is still not exactly what I want. I believe it's still a bit too low. Like it's supposed to look like the face is a bit tilted. It's tilted a bit more upwards, but The head shape is also not helping. And there's supposed to be that kind of like extra shape here. I think I'm just gonna fix it next time when I'm turning this one into an illustration as well, which may take a long time before I reach this one, but we don't need to stress ourselves because I do have a few more like work in progresses that I need to get through. I am quite nervous though about, oops, too many zeros. Let's just do this. About like bigger art pieces. Maybe I should just, you know, do it instead of worrying. Alright, sorry, I'm gonna have to turn off Studio Paint again because I need to go through my folders and see if I have half done projects, or even just, you know, a bunch of doodles or sketches that I can just continue drawing. Maybe not. I open one of my older work in progress, and it's really old. What else? Oh yeah, I could just, you know, redraw some of my older art. The cringe. Sorry, I'm looking at my folder, a bunch of my old art folders, and oof, I saw a few from the old kind of like otome game, kind of like a dating game. It's not kind of like, it is a dating game. God, the cringe. Next time for this stream, we're just gonna fuck around with some expression. So I'm just gonna quickly turn this on again, and then we're gonna do a 1000 by 1000 pixel canvas. And then I'm gonna just name it Base Doodles. And then we're gonna see who's gonna be our sketch victim. I mean, our references. Which unfortunate souls' faces are gonna be used as a reference. You know who I have been wanting to draw myself for the longest time, but I've never drawn him myself. I just had this realization mid-sentence, like, yeah, true, I've never drawn him at all. And I'm talking about Mads Mikkelsen. Like his face is like, I'm out of words. Like it's not just as simple as, oh, he's good looking, but certain parts of his face, like his facial feature combo, is quite a unique one, because there are a lot of Western actors, but you know, barely anyone looks like him. I'm pretty sure no one looks like him, or maybe I'm just not delving too deep into the Danish film industry. Oh yeah, there are a lot of pictures of him. He's very photogenic as well, I would say. I'm gonna pick a random one from the IMDb. Oh, it's a bit blurry though. Yeah, I don't think that I should see it as just drawing different parts of a face. I think I should just call it more of a study of different facial feature combinations, if that makes sense. I don't know how to talk about this without sounding like I'm trying to talk down other artists. But yeah, I'm just gonna call this can I abbreviate it? No, never mind, it'll sound really weird. So yeah, just call it face study. That's like the simplest one. His eyes are what, almond shape? Okay, we can take this one here. I think the other thing that I didn't pay attention to is the fact that he has very strong, like very strong shape, bone shape above his eyes. So strong eyebrows. I mean, he doesn't really have any eyebrows, but you know the point. So we're just gonna do a small headshot. Is this too small? Should I enlarge it? Maybe I should. So some people have strong jawline, others have a strong cheekbone. This man has strong brow bones. if that's even what it's called. So yeah, pardon me if it doesn't look exactly the same. If my Mads Mikkelsen drawing doesn't actually look like him. There's actually like an artist, I don't know where he's from, but he's more of a traditional artist, right? And he has done a really, really good painting, or just a drawing of Mads Mikkelsen. I believe it's supposed to be like a small, very small size artwork, but yeah, it looks a lot like the actual guy, and the art itself is very, very nice. I don't know if he posts anywhere else though, since I have only seen him on DeviantArt. Also, I'm mentioning the website's name, but I am not promoting or sponsored by them even. I just remembered that they also have this kind of like Gen AI service, which is, I guess, truth be told, it is very annoying. It's not just DeviantArt even, it's also ArtStation, and ArtStation is supposed to be a website for professional artists to put their portfolio. I think this is still a bit too small. I'm trying to do studies, but for some reason I'm making a bite-sized study. Yeah, back to the art website. Like, I honestly, other than Instagram, I'm not sure where I should put my art, just because I do not want to put it on websites that support data scraping for Gen AI. The man has white chins. It's a very strong chin as well. I think this is what people call like a very masculine feature. I don't know, I just like drawing faces, if I'm being honest. People's faces are cool, and hence why I like to draw them. I'm not gonna do too much detailing or following the references too closely, because I do not want to, again, lock myself into just an endless array of incorrect proportion, and the more I fix it, the more parts I'm gonna have to redraw again. So I'm just gonna keep myself here. Just do like little scratches, strokes. Yeah, strokes. He's smiling, so this part of the eye is a bit curved upward. Eye bags here. Yeah, and he has crow's feet as well. The man is old. I think more older people, especially the women, they should be fine. Like, they should not be shamed for, being old. Like, people are taking life for granted, that they forgot that it's a massive blessing to be able to live a very long life. That having like crow's feet, skin being a bit saggy, it's a mark for you to, it's a mark that you know you have managed to live this long. I mean, men as well, but it's more of a pattern with women where they shame women for looking old, while men are aging like fine wine. Even though I personally think that a lot of older women still look very beautiful, even with like crow's feet, even with like wrinkles, but that's just me. He's looking straight at the camera, so so if he doesn't have you know, very thick brows, I believe I should focus more on the shape of the bone there. No, so it does give an illusion of having brows, but it's mostly just the bone. And one thing to say about Mads Mikkelsen is apparently he does do a lot of acting in Danish film. Like, he's not a big fan of like constantly acting in Hollywood. There are times where he's done with a movie in the US and then he'll just fly back to Denmark and just chill there. I think that when it comes to Hollywood, they tend to typecast the actors. So I believe that Mets kind of fall into that as well, like kind of the foreign European villain typecast. I don't know. He plays other roles very well too, so I believe it would be a shame to keep locking him into that villain role. The eyes are a bit too apart and a bit too big. This one too. Pretty long nose, so I believe this is still a bit too short. Oh, maybe I got it right already, but I need to fix the sides. Oh, I still have the AFK icon on. Oops. Bad habit. Yeah, so yeah, see, At least with doodles, with this kind of doodles, maybe I wouldn't re-edit it into shorts or VOD. But if I'm gonna keep doing shit like this while doing big illustrations, we're gonna have a problem. I also noticed the problem I keep having with this kind of lips is that it's basically like a bow, right? So the curve of the bow, basically. So I keep accidentally dragging an extra filling, like kind of like here, so it looks like they slowly disappear. But from what I can see from the actual picture, it's more of a immediate fault, if that makes sense. Like there's no extra small part of the lips. Kind of look like this, but now I drew it a bit too low, so I have to bring it up a little. I think this is quite the difficult portrait studies, it's because type of face that I barely draw. I mostly draw very soft oval faces, right? Round lips, round full lips kind of stuff. So very, very inexperienced. I do wonder if I could go back to watching the 2013 version of Hannibal again, because the first time I watched it right on TV, Matt's accent was very, very difficult to get used to. And everybody else's accent was so easy to understand, but Matt's accent was so strong that his words were still felt like a foreign language and not English. But his role as Hannibal is incredibly menacing. That he, in contrast to was his name Anthony Hopkins, the other guy who also played Hannibal but for the movies, because that one is more of a outwards display of insanity, that he doesn't hide that he's a very dangerous man, a very calculative, that he acts insane so he looks like he's not calculative, but he is. Now with Mads Mikkelsen's version of Hannibal, he's a lot quieter, a lot more observant, and it's like he is always a few steps ahead, due to the fact that he's befriending you while also getting in your way, or also fucking up your progress of like I'm having a hard time talking, but investigating murder cases and whatnot. That he's the culprit, but he can just pretend that, oh, I've never seen this, never stepped in here. And then when further down the line, in the later seasons of the show, you can see him like starting to get more and more impatient, that maybe less calculated. Like he is still very dangerous, like he's still capable of moving a few steps ahead, but it felt like, from what I could still remember, it felt like he got a lot less careful, like he became more and more careless as time goes. But the first few seasons was like, his character actually made me uncomfortable with how calculated he is. His eyes are still too big. Oopsie daisy. Just like the shadow, so I miscalculated that. It's not supposed to be an actual line on the lips. Is he not looking at the camera? His eyes are still a bit to the side. He's looking at a different camera. Oh, but with the show, I don't recall if the story was supposed to end yet, or it's actually just left on a cliffhanger. I believe that it was cancelled, but I don't know if it was after they finished the previous season or after. If they were finished while the show is still running, and then they have to be like, okay, so how do we end the story where it looked like it could be the end for good, or it is still room for continuation, because that could happen, but I'm not sure. I just remember that Don Mancini being the writer, I believe, for the show, being like quite disappointed. I forgot if he was the writer or the producer. I'm gonna have to look it up after I'm done with this one. Thin lips are quite difficult to draw, and his upper lips also resembles a bow. That's also difficult for me to draw. For the shading, I will have to use just lighter pencils to do more shading, because I don't want to make the contrast between the light and the dark values a bit too jarring. Not to mention the mustache, good old mustache, and the beard as well. I'm gonna keep it as is, but as is, as in, like, I'm not gonna change it into a full-on portrait artwork, but more so that I'm not gonna just leave it as is. I'm gonna refine it a little bit, but all in one color. We might as well do value study, right? Because why not? Also has a pretty strong cheekbone. Yeah, so I noticed one thing when it comes to doing studies is that I put too much focus on making the eyes look big. So I would have to keep resizing it, keep making it look smaller just so it would look similar to the references. Yeah, so my proportion when it comes to realistic portrait art is pretty much fucked. I honestly, I do not want to use the fact that I do stylized or semi-realistic art to be an excuse, because bad anatomy is still bad. Just because I prefer drawing stylized art doesn't mean that I can just get away with not knowing proper anatomy. Because it's a mix different between choosing to do stylized versus having to do only capable of doing stylized because I can't do proper anatomy. I think I've had plenty of excuses when I was younger. And then full-grown adult would be acting better than this. strokes, but ended up using the strongest brush alive. Probably shouldn't have used pink because my eyes are starting to hurt. Yeah, I think I'm at my limit because my eyes are hurting. thought I picked, yeah, I accidentally pressed M instead of comma. Oopsie daisy. I think I'm putting too much pressure on the strokes here. I think it would be easier if I use like actual pencil. I haven't made any realistic portraits with pencil in a while. I probably should do this kind of practice on pencil and paper. I mean, I used to make a few, I guess. I can say that, oh, I drew traditional portraits all the time, but I did at some point make a few. One is of I guess, a singer. I'm trying to think that is he supposed to be referred to as like an Italian Japanese singer or just Japanese, because the man is Italian but he lives in Japan. And I think I made like 2 fan art of him with pencil and paper. And I've also made a fan art of a Hong Kong actress, I believe. And I believe she's actually a Hong Kong artist, and I didn't misremember where she's from. I may or may not have also made fan art of Markiplier, but that was way back. And that was like on a A4 paper. At this with these 2 other public figures, they were drawn on my A5 sketchbook. Even if my brain can still see like the problem, my hands cannot keep up with it. And my brain, because my brain is genuinely failing. I cannot generate any more words, or at least not correct words. Actually, I just thought of something. If I cannot think of what to draw on stream, I think I'm just gonna draw my commission sample live, since I do need to get them done as well. And I mainly just need to get it done first. Like the time lapse is less important than the samples themselves. But I'm not sure. I think I'll just stick with that. Stick with the doing the com sample live tomorrow. I'm gonna be live by myself tomorrow because my friend decided to abandon me and left me here by myself. I mean, just kidding, she's genuinely sick, so she cannot join. I mean, even if she's not sick and she's just busy, I wouldn't force her to stream either, because we are supposed to make progress through this stream, not just to waste time. And if I don't know about you, but I cannot do anything while I'm sick. Oops. And I don't expect anyone else to be able to do that either, but some people are just built like tanks, and they still power through a bunch of tasks while they are, under the weather. Which is commendable, but that's just how me or my friend function. I think I'm just gonna finish up the no shape here. Then I'm gonna have to end the stream because it's late. Excuse me. Discount Mads Mikkelsen. I almost called him Mads Dickelson. I am not okay. The only consolation is that I'm simply sleepy and not drunk, because I would have gone on a giggling fit just from the word Dickelson. So thank fucking God I'm not. I think I'm done for real. I thought that I would do more off stream, but I guess we're just gonna finish it here because it, you know, study. If I put in too much effort, I will keep lagging behind in terms of progress. I think this is more of obsession. This is my personal obsession, like having to like, oh, I need to focus on this and this only. Now I need to make sure I get this right and get it done. My brain is annoying. I'm just gonna do this and then be done with it. Stop putting too much effort. Supposed to be like too strong. I mean, I should not be pressing them. It's like I should not be pressing the pencil too hard. That's what I'm saying. Like the colors, the value are still supposed to be lighter and softer. Whenever you press on a pencil or a stylus and make a bold effect, like you want to emphasize on your strokes, it usually ends up putting the focus on that part, on that stroke. So I'm trying to kind of lightly erase because I don't want to put the focus all over the drawing. That you want to show that, oh, this is shading, there's still shadows, but you don't want to go too far. I think I'm just gonna stop here. This is my dollar store Mads Mikkelsen. the actual guy is a lot better looking. Oh, and don't worry, if you want to do portrait studies, or you want to draw like celebrities or whoever it is you want to draw, just know that if they don't look like the references, trust me, it's because you have not drawn them enough. Like if you draw them more than a few times, if you keep drawing them, you get used to their features, you make the artwork you draw will look a lot more like them as time goes by. So I would say, don't be disheartened if the people you draw, the characters you draw, don't immediately look like the references. Just gonna fix this. Discount. My discount matchmaker sent is done. I'm gonna go watch more movies or shows of his if I could, when I have the time, because he's really good at acting. Unfortunately, he's also typecasted a lot by Hollywood. But yeah, that's besides the point. He's still good at his job. That's my point. I'm gonna watch more of his stuff. But yeah, that's all for tonight's stream. I'm gonna stream again tomorrow evening. Saturday tomorrow, right? Yeah. I'm gonna do solo stream, but I'm gonna do my commission sample. So hopefully I could, upload my commissions soon. But that's all for today's stream. Thank you to the people who stopped by and watched. I'm gonna see you tomorrow evening. Goodbye.